So we bought a house, an 1879 mansion in desperate need of love with a legendary and unique history, and a community to match. And today, with our designer and real estate specialist, Nicki Scheerer, we will be giving you the first look inside my new home.
The first parlor, where I started falling in love with the house.
Absolutely. My favorite part of this room, well, there's three things. You've got the medallion, the beautiful fireplace, and then these gigantic doors.
Yeah. And then once you get past some of those large things, I feel like the longer that we're here, we start noticing small details like, well, the windows, the casing around the windows is square, but the window tops themselves are arched or half rounded. And then even as you were talking about last week, then you start noticing the millwork and the inset pieces.
And when you started to put together the 3D model, that's when we really noticed.
As I do that model, I have to sit and think like, oh, well, where is this? And what does it actually look like? And it's like rediscovering the house all over again.
That's great. Hey, let's check out those doors.
Yeah, these, the burl, when we first saw the house, we thought it was real burl wood, but then you just look a little closer and it's painted.
Somebody painted that on.
Which it wasn't unusual. That was just a way of saving money, honestly.
Yeah.
Trying to look super opulent.
I think.
It's just because it's so many layers.
We're careful to maintain that when we clean these doors. I think Caleb mentioned how to do that carefully. So we'll have to go and talk to him about it.
Yeah, we'll have to have him come back out and help us, do almost like a maintenance list on what we need to do when and how.
We'll bring him over.
So let's head into the curio room.
It's amazing to me that out of all 5 of the fireplaces, only one small piece is missing.
That's what we're talking about.
But I just love the thought of how many conversations do you think happened around these fireplaces? Like, not just with Henry Vahlkamp and his family, but all of the families that are starting to come out of the woodwork that used to live here. So it's, when you have a house that's 140 years old and it hasn't been in the same family the whole time,
Think of the number of Christmases and the stockings hung on this.
Right. I know this hallway, since a lot of the wood floors are missing, this is where we're really talking about doing a nice, like, Italian flooring treatment. And I know we've talked about how we're gonna have nice artwork, beautifully lit on the wall, and this is kind of the gallery.
Yeah, so the idea is when you come in, we want to establish a feel immediately. And since this is an Italianate, we thought it would be perfect to lay, say, a harlequin pattern.
I can't wait just to recreate that.
It looks good on the model.
Right. On the way to the bathroom.
So this will be the bathroom right here, right?
The half bath, yeah, that's what I'm imagining. Hopefully, no one tells me I'm too crazy and says I can't do it, but doing a sink here, keeping the door, obviously securing it so it doesn't open, but having a beautiful pedestal sink, and then this is just like a nice treatment. I love that idea, having this door stay here in situ, and we just restore it, make it look nice, but keep it right where it's at. Yeah, strip some of the paint off of the trim. Seems like it's been painted a couple of times. So try to do that, or we just say, we'll change it up, it's already painted, let's just make it look beautiful and maybe do black with some gold highlights or something, It's not so thick that it's obscured the pattern. Right. So it hasn't had so many coats that it's ugly. That it's too far off, And then I just can't wait to have the transoms opened up so that way all that light comes in. Right. For here, and then the other one in the kitchen. It's very dark right now because of the rain outside. Right. So there's no light coming in here. Right. But yeah, if we have this open,
light will come streaming through and light up the bathroom. And it'll be nice and white, I think.
Right.
So it'll reflect.
Right. We just need to make sure that we get a good window guy or window person.
Yeah. Well, that window discussion is a hot topic. So we've arrived at the dining room. We're knocking the plaster off of all the walls.
Yeah.
First time to glimpse this brick here.
I know. Some of it. I mean, some of it was already taken off, but yeah. I know everyone comes in and they're like, oh, are you going to leave the brick exposed? No.
We actually thought about it, and we decided that Vahlkamp whoever was building Vahlkamp's house at the time would never have exposed brick. It would have been the worst thing ever. And so we want to, have a proper homage and not do something ridiculously modern.
I know we have a little leak from the Juliet balcony, so we'll get when the roofer comes out, we'll have to make sure that they also do the Juliet balcony as well.
Look how thick this plaster is. That's 1.5 inches.
Yeah, I mean that's
not 1.5 inches, but this part right here is.
well, because you have the plaster, and then you have 2 layers of it.
Yeah.
You have the plaster that adhered to the brick.
No wonder Steve.
And then a finishing.
Steve was mentioning how heavy that stuff is.
I mean,
on the
feel
walls.
how heavy that is.
That's really solid.
That's probably what, like a pound?
I would say, yeah,
Just
close.
in that 6-inch by 6-inch square. So multiply that by all the square footage.
That's dense, very dense stuff. Having that come off the wall is going to help things.
It's almost like a concrete. They did like a concrete finish at first.
Yeah.
And then they did a nice screening of it.
Like a
the
plaster.
Finer plaster. Yeah.
You're right. This is a heavier concrete.
So it's good. I know part of me wanted to try to keep it, but also the reality is that this plaster, when they put it in, I don't know if they ever imagined it being here 150 years later.
Hard to know, but it's time for it to come down. We really asked ourselves whether it was possible, and it needed to come down. It was so loose in most areas, and it was very dangerous. It could have fallen on somebody.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah.
That's, I forget about that part.
Let's go into the kitchen.
Yes. The best part. So, our ideas for the kitchen, I had it one way, and then we just had to
We just bought a gigantic
stumble
refrigerator.
across a huge 1900s refrigerator.
Yeah, so the story is that on Facebook, our general contractor, Sheila, pinged me and said, hey, check this refrigerator out. It's brand new on the inside, meaning they've got a brand new compressor and a digital system. So upgraded insides, but the actual refrigerator is marble lined, 6 feet, 6.5 feet.
I think it's 6 feet wide and then 6.5 feet tall.
Very tall, very wide, all wood, brass fixtures, marble inside. So it's going to be a centerpiece. Do you have any idea where we can fit it?
At first, before I measured, I thought here would be cool, but I don't think, I'm
I don't think we have the width.
I'm 5'8", and that's not enough.
Right.
Right there. So I did just have this thought though. What if we have the doorway here to the butler's pantry? What if we do the refrigerator here built in? And then to
Make
get
this a
in
door.
to the butler's pantry, this is how you get in right through here.
That might work much better because it's inside of the usable space.
Right.
Like you're.
So
Where would the island be?
the big work table is going to be about right here.
Yeah.
And so you've got stove, you've got sink.
It makes so much sense to have
To
the
have it
fridge
right
here,
there.
doesn't it? Feels right.
And then we have the railing here, which we're missing our front railing. So the hope is that this is the same depth as the front one, so we can reuse all of these pieces. And I know the demo guys are going to try to make sure that they can get everything off of here as gently as possible.
Yeah, Austin and his guys have done a really good job upstairs protecting some of the really precious pieces like the fireplaces and the medallions. We will talk to him about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be careful.
Yeah, he will. They will. It's great.
They
Don't
will.
hit your head on the old gasolier line, though.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
We still have a few of those in the house.
This is where their lights would come out in sconces
Yep.
on the wall.
So that's part of the reason why we really want sconces back in the house. All right, so let's meander on through the maze to upstairs. I want to see what it starts looking like with all of this without all of this plasterwork. Although this niche though, we need to talk about this. So this is something that when we're talking about the bathroom upstairs with the plumbers, you know, they were talking about, well, if they need to run any plumbing along this outer wall, but they would need 6 inches for a toilet if they were to run anything down this way. So imagine this wall having to come out 6 more inches. I just don't think I can do that, and I can't lose this niche. This is just so gorgeous and so important, and I know you and I have talked about doing a really cool tile back to this.
Oh, we have to keep this if we can.
Yeah.
It's a really critical element to the entry, and we're gonna play with this somehow.
Yeah.
Do something with it. Now, why would they need to run pipes down the outside wall when we have a perfectly good wall right here?
Well, that's a good question.
Okay.
We'll talk with a plumber.
Upstairs?
Yeah, let's go. It's a very easy way to get up the stairs. I don't know why everybody doesn't do that.
Kind of awkward.
Another beautiful window. We really need these big windows in these hallways here.
Let's go out front.
You want to do the front? Oh, let's see the demo.
Let's go out here.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really glad they did this.
Great job protecting the fireplace. And I see they did a great job of protecting the medallion as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So we're still unsure as to what that material is.
It is. I think there's a little chip on there, and it sure does look like plaster.
It certainly does look like plaster. I was kind of hoping it wasn't, but I mean, the fact that it's plaster is amazing. It's a beautiful piece of plaster work, but the thing I worry about is through this demolition, how are we going to deal with that? How are we going to run electricity in through these things? So we'll have to work very carefully. We may have to get a plasterer in here to touch up some of the parts that have cracked and just to let us know what.
Looks like it's coated with something almost darker colored stuff.
I mean, it looks like someone painted it. That wouldn't have been unusual for them to have painted any of the plaster.
This was to protect the ceiling from the off gases of the gas.
Yeah, we learned about that when we went through the DeMinot mansion. Is that the reasons for that were the actual candle and the gasoliers, that all of that soot coming off would hit the plasterwork and it wouldn't make the plaster around on the ceiling look dirty.
That's why I'm seeing these black marks here. Is that from the burning of the chandeliers back in the day?
Possibly,
Who
yeah.
knows? Well,
We won't know.
they got this plaster off the walls. Do I see an embedded,
did.
something embedded on the wall there? Hold on. It's
Oh,
probably
these lines here?
bad for your health. This is horsehair plaster. You can see the horsehair sticking out of it.
No, you can see here, these are the gas lines for...
There you go. That's a gas line. So these were lights right next to the windows. Okay.
Must have been it. It makes you wonder if they ever took some of this plaster down and redid it. Oh my gosh, you can feel the... Look at this. That's actual horsehair.
Horsehairs. 150-year-old horsehair.
That's absolutely astonishing. That's how you reinforced it.
Yeah.
And you had lots of horses, so you had lots of horsehair. It's crazy. All of this lath work in here.
I cannot tell you how much I want a Gatorade right now.
I know. I'm really thirsty too.
Amazing.
Maybe just get a Gatorade for...
I'm just thinking,
Just open
Austin, we could...
Austin, we'll pay you back.
Austin, could you just bill us?
We owe you.
later? Thanks, man.
Right.
Austin's like, that's a $20 Gatorade those guys are drinking right now.
That's called an advertisement in the middle of the show.
Right, I know. Let's
Now look
turn.
at the camera, we're like, Gatorade, so refreshing.
Oh my god.
There's nothing better than that. So, second kid's room.
Second kid's room. No medallion.
No medallion.
That's okay.
Never was one, I don't think.
I don't know. Probably not.
We
see.
will not. Well, we'll have to pull off that paper to know, but I don't see any outlines on the plaster. If you see,
Yeah.
this
And
one
that
has another
plaster.
little niche, niche,
Niche.
just like that entry niche.
Niche.
I was imagining like a little wash basin here.
I think that quite. I mean, that's what makes sense to me.
Yeah, or maybe a
Or
mirror.
a tall mirror.
Perhaps.
That's. I always feel like this would have been the girls' room, so then maybe that's why there would have been a tall mirror there. You would have had boys, and then girls, and then a nice little note from our demo guys.
Love it. This fireplace is one of our best. And
Yeah.
we need to learn what this stone really is.
Yeah.
I think this is a type of marble.
Oh, okay.
And then this is definitely, it looks like granite. And it's got
It does.
brass
Yeah, it feels like it.
inlay and then a very black stone. This mantle is
pretty.
very, very black and shiny stone.
They could all be marble. I know I've been saying soapstone, but they could all be marble. I don't know for sure.
But we'll have to go and find out from an
Yeah.
expert.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. I love these fireplaces.
So this is the bathroom. Another gas line. This is what will be the bathroom. What it was then, I don't know. It could have been an office. It could have been a little kid's room.
It really makes you wonder what this little room was. What do you call these? What's
Knob and tube.
knob and tube systems. It's a knob and tube system. It was obviously put in way after the house was built.
I want to say that, now don't quote me on this, but I feel like in the 20s, the 1920s is when knob and tube started coming in to houses.
Ready to head down the hall?
Yeah, just be careful. I don't know how well it's gonna move.
Oh geez, it's coming right out.
Waiting for it just to totally fall.
Okay,
That's good.
just leave that.
The primary suite.
That is
Quite a leak
leakiest-
going on in here,
the
isn't it?
leakiest room in the house. Fireplaces will always do that to you. I do wonder if there was ever a firebox in here.
I don't see a shape on the wall. It's not obvious. And there's no room for a fireplace back here because there's a door.
Well, because you have the chase right
Yeah.
here. So,
So there you go. That's where whatever stove was piped in.
that's the point. And all the wallpaper in here. We really do need to figure out how we're going to deal with it if we're going to try to save some parts of the wallpaper.
Well, I love how the Campbell House Museum captured on the wall one little square of all of the wallpaper they had to cut through to restore the place. And I really want to do that. So perhaps up here, out of the way, where there's a mess of wallpaper, we could just retain one piece, maybe. And then we could show people what it looked like before we restored it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting where the picture reel used to be.
You can still see where it was, but they've had many layers of wallpaper. Maybe they put it back up.
It's hard to tell.
Hey, my collection room.
Your
I'm pretty
collection
excited about my
room.
collection room. What is there to say about it? I have several pieces of furniture, and as we put it together, I think it'll be fun to show it off, but let's not give away too much.
Okay.
What's going to happen in
Okay.
here, right?
Yeah. Well, what do you want to do with this?
I don't
Do you just
have
want them to
strong
take it out?
feelings. Yeah, I don't care about it.
I feel like it's just kind of awkward.
It's so high up. What are you going to do? I mean, you have to be...
If you can't reach the top shelf, then we have issues.
What kind of giant used this as a bathroom is what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, and you can see where there used to be a tub right here,
Yes.
and it was probably the tub that's sitting
Oh,
right
you
there.
know what? That would give you another 7 inches. So a really tall person could perhaps use the tallest part of that. Hey, look at this. They really cleaned it out. This
I
thing was
know.
full of all kinds of things that I don't actually even know what it was, but
Lots of stuff.
some cabinets stacked up right here.
Construction materials, discounted light fixtures.
Well, anyway, it's gone now. We can see this room and this space. It's very much, it feels much bigger and open, more open.
I'm imagining tub over here, and then you know, this doorway may have to move for us
Yeah,
to be able to get closets in.
So
but
tub right here.
Shower here.
Shower here.
The vanity, I imagine being right here, and I'd love it if it was a big, beautiful, like, dresser almost look with, like, 2 vessel sinks. So it looks like it's a wash, like the old wash tables.
We could almost rescue something and turn it into that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Another gas line coming up through the house. I do wonder, I feel like these were almost cut in.
They're galvanized.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And where does it go?
I mean, these were for sure here when the building was built. Because they're not, I mean, it was 1879, so they were putting gas in everything.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So the light must have popped out here. It's
Maybe.
gone now.
Yeah. We'll find out when they tear
Perhaps.
all the plaster off. An old another stove would have been here. I have a feeling a lot of these stoves were installed when it was put
This
into
one
a
was
duplex.
definitely put out later because it's a
Yeah.
terrible opening.
Yeah, it's a terrible.
Just broken in there with a hammer.
Yeah.
And we know this was the kitchen
Yeah.
when this was a multifamily. So for the second story living area, we had Sue tour and Lola.
Right.
Sue and Lola told us that upstairs their neighbors had their kitchen here.
Yeah, which makes sense. I kind of suspected that when I, underneath all of the stuff, saw the kitchen sink there. And then if you look downstairs up, you can see all the plumbing that comes into here. And it makes sense because that was a bathroom, the other side
Sure.
of this.
You had a wet wall. Might as
So,
well use it.
yeah, all of your water was running in right there. And then we can see what the weather's like.
Yeah.
I know. It's still raining.
Hey, why don't we go in the carriage house and talk a little bit about the carriage
Okay,
house?
we'll have to go get the keys.
Oh, let's not do that then. That's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea. Look at all the water just coming
Oh my goodness.
right over the gutters.
It's just going right over it.
We'll have to make sure when they do the gutters, so they put gutter guards.
Maybe. I don't think there are leaves that could go into it.
I guess that's true. It's tall enough.
It's tall enough.
But yeah, the carriage house, I feel like that one's going to take a little longer than everything. It's not as important. We don't need
Carriage
to
house is
into it.
going to be very fun to do. We'll go modern. No need to worry about trying to keep it true to the Victorian 1870 time frame.
I think that'll be great. Although I cannot wait to talk to Terry next week about the elevator ideas.
Terry has an elevator.
Terry has an elevator. I want to see the price of it
Yeah,
first.
perhaps we shouldn't sing about elevators until we see how much elevators
See how much it's
cost.
going to cost.
But the elevator would be helpful to get things to the roof and from the ground floor up to here for move-in purposes.
Right.
I certainly don't want to have to haul things through the up the stairs if possible.
Yeah. We'll have to keep the transom here as well.
For sure, and we need to get it working. Up to the attic?
Up to the attic.
I know we're going to try to fit a bathroom in this corner. The question is, how much head height and things can we give them? So you can only go so far over before you get in. So I have a feeling we may have to, unfortunately, bring the wall to here and have a window in the bathroom and lose part of this railing. But I'm not sure. I would, because I don't think we can squeeze enough of a bathroom in from this wall over to make it really work.
Right, so you have to come on this side of the window is what you're saying.
Yep, windows. We'll figure it out. We'll talk with Terry, see what his thought process is. I think we have some birds in the chimney.
Definitely some critters living with us right now.
It's
Okay,
great.
what's
Oh,
that?
this must be all the old doorknobs that Lola and Sue were talking about. They said that they were white porcelain,
There they are.
that they weren't the crystal. So here's some of them in here, in this box. Some other bits and bobs. So it'd be nice to put these back on. These are cool.
Oh, wow.
I think I know we had talked about doing the beadboard on the ceilings, but I almost feel like it would be too dark and it would feel too closed in. So maybe just doing drywall, keeping the walls light, And then having this as a nice dark accent on the walls will be, and I think it would be kind of cute too. Maybe we can find a small little chandelier to hang in between the space.
One of my favorite aspects of this room is you can see the St. Louis Arch from here. And we'll have to
It's a little
make
cloudy
sure we
today.
keep these. Yeah, you can't see it today, it's too cloudy.
But yeah, so windows are gonna stay. The HVAC will have to be run through, so they'll have a little window seat. But this, I just can't wait. It's gonna be, you know, closets or little nooks. I think it'd be really cute for them to have like a little reading nook tucked in somewhere as it goes down, and then having closet space.
Your kids are really gonna love this.
Absolutely, they are extremely excited. Let's wait for it to dry up so we can take a look at the yard and the carriage house.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys for doing this tour with us. Stay tuned for more design, more renovation, more history, and more Vahlkamp House. And that's a wrap.